because we might forget that.
Scottplex City.
Marks.
Kind of a big deal.
Scottplex City.
Marks.
Scottplex City.
Marks.
Scottplex City.
Marks.
Okay, here we are. Yeah, we back. Scottplex City. Scotty B's right there.
Hey, what's up?
How you do?
I'm good.
I'm Scott Pank. Labor Day weekend, 3 days of relaxing and wrestling. Watched a decent amount of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta say, Raw was pretty good.
It was good. I liked it.
SmackDown. Right now, I think the main story is what happened with Triple H the other week.
Yes.
So I think Raw is a little bit more important right now than SmackDown. I mean, you can disagree with me all you want, but that's just my personal opinion on it. But
I do like what SmackDown's doing with the tag team tournament and the women's championship. The fact they started off with the women's championship, I like that. So
we'll get into SmackDown and Raw, and we'll make our predictions for Backlash, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I put Backlash down on the note sheet.
Or you could be like Becky Lynch, who called it Backlash.
Hey.
That's what she does. She's like a little quirky like that.
Her podcast, not her podcast, Chris Jericho's podcast, Becky was on it.
Oh, I didn't know.
And they were doing so many plays on
so many
Beck.
puns, yeah.
It was hilarious.
She's good like that.
What were you just saying about Paige when you walked into the studio?
Apparently, she is looking for legal representation. This is just a rumor.
Right.
I mean, I've only seen it on
Allegedly.
Facebook stuff and dirt sheets and stuff like that. Allegedly, she's looking for some sort of legal representation to get out of her contract. So, Alberto Del Rio is pretty much screwing her career. She's done.
Why would she want to leave the W? You spent your entire life, you watch the old documentary that she did when she was over in England still, and you watch anything to do with Paige. This is what she's worked for her entire life. Why do you want to just throw it all away?
That's why I'm hoping this is just a rumor.
It has to be a rumor.
Either that or she's just kind of young and stupid. She's only 24 years old, so...
If she was to leave, do you think WWE would take her back, saying 2-3 years? They would. I would think it would be best for business.
Why not? I mean, Vince McMahon has taken so many people back. How many times has he taken Hulk Hogan back?
God.
I mean, the Ultimate Warrior came back after all the bad blood that was happening between. It happens with so many. If things were to get on better terms, if this whole thing is true, you could see her back, no doubt, no doubt.
One of the things that bothers me most about this situation is that we really have no idea what's going on.
No, we don't.
It's only speculation.
It's all speculation and rumor, yeah. There's
been nothing out of Paige's mouth that makes you believe one way or another. She definitely sounds like she's not happy with stuff, but it don't sound like it's too happy because you look at her Instagram stuff and it's her training to get back to action. Yep. She put up a video where she was getting my shoulders and my back stronger. So it's what is going on? Paige, please don't be stupid. You want to date Alberto, go ahead, do that. But don't be dumb and throw your career away because of him.
Yeah, I'm hoping this doesn't become another CM Punk AJ scenario because AJ stuck around for a while but you just kind of knew she wasn't sticking around for long, and sure enough, she's gone.
But they were at least engaged at that time. This is just boyfriend, girlfriend.
Exactly. They've only been for a few months, but the fact that she's already got that tattoo and everything else, it's
Do you think she got Poppy first? What came first, do you think? I love you or the Poppy tattoo? I think she got Poppy tattoo probably before
I wouldn't be surprised
love.
about that,
Usually you should go the other way. If you want to get... We're not going to get into the tattoo thing again because I think we've started off the last couple podcasts.
2 weeks, we know it's not a good thing to do.
Do not do that. Hit that subscribe button, Pank's Podcast, and you'll be notified every single week when we drop Scottplex City. It comes out on Wednesdays, then the following day on Thursday, the video version comes out for you to enjoy, which you could check out the video version if you're following Scotty on social media, me on social media, anything like that. It's really easy to find. You just type in Scottplex City. It's
there.
That simple. There's one Scottplex City. So,
and if there's any others, they're fakes.
I honestly, every time I've ever put in Scottplex City, it's just our stuff. So right now...
Because we're good like that.
We're good. But unless some, clown baby comes in and does that. And then trust me, if somebody all of a sudden is the real Scottplex City or the only Scottplex City, I will cut the most heelish CM Punk promo of all time, and I will go wild. But also another thing I want to bring up was, I don't know if I heard correctly because I was half paying attention, but did they say if you subscribe to the WWE Network, you get all 19 pay-per-views?
Yes.
Holy
19
crap.
now. Because I think you have your regular 12 once a month, and they've added, I think, 7 more. Because right after Backlash, 2 weeks later, you get Clash of Champions. So you got so many of the...
So it's literally like every
the
2
Raw
weeks
and
almost.
the SmackDown. Yeah, so they're adding ones. Obviously, some of them are going to be co-branded.
Like
your
the major
WrestleManias,
ones.
your Royal Rumbles, probably your Survivor Series, and your SummerSlam. I wouldn't be surprised Money in the Bank's probably going to be the co-branded one, too, because they'll probably once again do the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. So...
Well, there's a lot of...
Do a little dual research on that to see exactly which ones will be SmackDown and Raw, and which ones will be both of them together.
It's a little much. At the end of the day...
It is a lot. It is a lot. I mean, especially when you have 2 shows a week. You got your Raw and your SmackDown. You got all your pay-per-views as it is. You're adding even more. You got your NXT. You got your Cruiserweight Classic going on right now.
You got Scottplex City.
You got this. You got your other wrestling, too. You got your TNA. You got your ROH. And everything else, it's like there's only so much lucha. You got so much other stuff that you can watch. It's like you just can't keep up with all of it.
That's true.
Especially when it comes to WWE.
Well, I think they're adding all these pay-per-views because they're really just trying to build up content. They
Absolutely.
really need a lot of content for the network to keep it so it's really, really valuable. You know. Before we get in, we'll get into Raw in a second and everything. But what was the whole thing also with Kevin Owens and him? Did he really allegedly not know?
Apparently, the big rumor is that he did not know he was winning the Universal title last week. Apparently, the only people who knew how this finish was going to go down was Triple H, Rollins, and Reigns. That was it. Apparently, Mick Foley and Stephanie didn't even know what was going down.
Really?
So it's a good way
that.
to get, insiders who think they got the scoop on everything to not be in the know, just on the fly booking type thing. I wouldn't say it was so on the fly. They had it planned, but no one else knew. So if that is the case, if that is true, that's pretty cool. Very surprising shock factor thing going on. Because you look at the look on Kevin Owens' face once. When Triple H is in the ring, it's just like, what? He's kind of got this whole what the hell is going on look. And then when he actually won the belt, and he's crying. I mean, of course, you want to get to that level in WWE. If you're a wrestler, you want to get to that level no matter what. But it just everything seemed so legitimate, not just forced and all that. That would tell me that truly what this rumor is true, and he had no idea who was going to win the thing.
I bet you the other wrestlers knew they just weren't going over. They probably didn't know who was going to win. Yeah. And if that's how they want to do that, I like that. I like on-the-fly booking for certain things, if it makes sense, and that made perfect sense. And I think Kevin Owens is going to be a great champ. I think he is going to shine more than Finn Balor was going to shine. Let's just be real here. Them putting the belt on Finn was definitely a risk because we love Finn, us, indie, smarky type, whatever people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We love Finn. We enjoy Finn. We want Finn to be champion. But you got to remember the overall main audience is the ones that, the casual viewer, they're the ones that are going to tune in. And it's like maybe we could get over the fact that Finn wasn't maybe the greatest on the mic. But your regular fan isn't going to get over that. And just Kevin Owens... He's a great heel. Him working with Triple H or however this is going to play out to be is just... I think it's
the right thing to
great.
do.
I think this is one of the best decisions WWE's made in a while.
I mean, he is the best heel pretty much going right now. And him with Jericho, probably the other best heel that's on Raw right now. That's a great pairing, and I like where they're going with it.
And Seth instantly turned babyface.
Absolutely. I mean, because he got screwed over. So right there... You got your face turn that a lot of people were hoping for Seth. Obviously, I think they were planning on this earlier I think last year when Seth got hurt, and then they pulled the trigger once Finn got hurt, that they're going to go with a whole babyface turn with him. Because there's been talk forever now that there's going to be a feud between Triple H and Seth. So
that's right around the corner, yeah. I think. Do you think that somehow Triple H gets involved in the championship match and causes Seth to lose even more, and that's what sets up Seth versus Triple H?
That very well could be.
Because I really would enjoy the Seth versus Triple H feud. I think Seth versus Kevin Owens is
it's gonna be
amazing.
Great.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't know who would be up after maybe Seth to get into that picture. I don't think Big Cass should go there unless they're going to really, start to break up Enzo and Big Cass, because they did take the loss on Monday night against the Shining Stars.
Which surprised me.
Is this, I
don't know what they're doing with the Shining Stars, because they are not over at all.
Yeah, don't bring their NXT gimmick of losing all the time to the main roster, especially the Shining Star, like you said.
I just didn't get that, but the Shining Stars have won these last few weeks, and so I'm like, where are they going to go with this? I mean, they're not over at all. Are they going to try to change something a little bit on their gimmick? I don't know right now.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't break them up. I really don't want them to. But
I think they need at least one reign as tag team champions, because they don't really need it. They're not one of those teams that need the belt because they're over anyway, but I think they deserve it. I mean, because since they are so over, they never got the tag belts in NXT. Give them one shot with WWE, and then after that you can break them up.
Because, seeing Big Cass doing single matches and them losing to the Shining Stars, that just isn't, promising to me.
Yeah.
I don't look at that like it's a good news is right around the corner for Enzo and Big Cass. They're going to be WWE Tag Team Champions. I don't believe that. Me, I look at that like they're going to be broken up, and I hate that. It makes me want to cry.
Either that, or they're just going to start a small feud with the Shining Stars, because we still have the feud with Anderson and Gallows with the New Day. So where is Big Cass and Enzo in the mix right now? So maybe got to have them off to the side again for some type of feud, and then push them into the tag team title scene later on.
I think that would be the right decision, right call right there. I also think that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, they deserve the belts.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that the New Day should drop the belt at the next
I got to say, though,
that
skit that they did, that was lame.
Oh,
I hate to, do any of the negative stuff on Raw, but that was just... I was kind of zoning out the whole thing.
That whole
as soon as these fake
old folks,
the old day came out, I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be humorous. I'm not taking it. It was just forced. I didn't care for it too much.
I don't know if it's the club's ideas or if it's the creative idea, or if it's both of their ideas. They're working together on it, but whoever is to blame, someone needs to get the iron fist here, because this is just stupid. Yeah. I don't know what was worse, honestly. That segment or Randy Orton's little interview cut promo that he did on SmackDown, when it was just monotone and you just talk like that. And he's just the most boringest story of all time. I'm sorry. I actually kind of like
the whole way the story was going, but it's just like you said, the whole monotone. It was just okay, it's dragging a little bit.
Maybe the story would have been better if he put something into it.
A little more energy into it,
and cut it down a little bit, because I like the idea of, the snake hiding in the grass type thing that he was saying, we lie in wait and we come get you. But
that's pretty much the way Randy Orton is. He's always kind of that.
And that's why I don't think he's that huge level of a star. He mails it in.
Yeah.
He literally mails it in. You got those crappy radio personalities, they just mail it in. Mm-hmm. And they just hey, this is the station, this is the artist, this is the song, this is the station. That's Randy Orton. Oh, okay, let me just do it. It's almost like he has his script in front of him, and he's, reading it.
Which is kind of strange, because when he first came back and he did the highlight reel with Jericho, he had some
right.
behind him, the whole, it only takes one RKO to go to Viperville. No enhancement needed. He was doing all that kind of stuff. That was great. And then he got into that. It was just I like the whole story idea, but the presentation of it kind of was a little bit lame. I mean, if he could be more like Bray Wyatt, who, you hear him talking, you don't know what the hell he's talking about, but you're just so entranced by what he's saying, by his delivery and his presentation. I don't know. I guess that's what Randy Orton's got to do. We got to work on the presentation a little bit.
At the Performance Center,
I can't say I can do any better, but still.
But you're not a professional wrestler. And
Exactly.
You're not getting paid a lot of money to do it. At the Performance Center, they have the room where you go and you practice your promos.
Yeah.
He needs to go there for a couple weeks and practice your promos, Randy. I can't believe I'm telling you this after like 14 years or whatever the hell it is. Another big surprise of the night was Sasha Banks' little twist of
everyone thought she was going to be pulling a whole, I got to retire, guys, and all that kind of thing. And then as soon as Dana came out, you're kind of like, okay, she's ribbing us. Something's going to go down here. And sure enough, the bad news that she had was for Charlotte, and she's going to go after the belt at Clash of Champions. So.
Yeah. I think Sasha chasing the belt is way better anyways. Like, Charlotte is such a good champion and such a good heel that her having the belt and making somebody like a Sasha and a Bayley, like, if you have, like, a Sasha or a Bayley always just thriving to be the champion, obviously they could be champion a couple months at a time. But for the majority of the time, you keep it on your Charlotte, it's just going to make that women's division so good. And, I feel that the women's division on Raw is light years ahead of the women's division on SmackDown. One thing, I wanted to bring up was the fact that, on SmackDown, on Raw, it's the WWE Women's Championship. On SmackDown, it's the SmackDown Women's Championship. To me, just throwing SmackDown in the title of the name makes it like it's a second-rate.
Well, I think they're starting to call it the Raw Women's Championship. They're starting to do that.
Okay, well, if they start to do that on both brands, then okay. But
I heard Michael Cole call it the Raw Women's Championship.
But until it's official,
and say the tag team belts are going to be the same way. It's going to be the Raw tag team.
Okay, because I was going to say that makes it sound like it's like a second-rate belt, like second class. Oh, I don't really care for that. I want the championship, not the SmackDown Championship. You know what I mean?
So they're starting to do that. Yeah.
So I was going to say maybe a way to fix that was to be like, hey, here's the women's strawweight division, the women's bantamweight division. I mean, I would say that the more strawweight is on, strawweight size women are on SmackDown, and the bantamweight is more on Raw. That's just the bigger women on Raw than on SmackDown. That's just facts right there. Maybe. Not fully, because Becky Lynch is a pretty big woman. Not like, built-wise. Yeah, like she kicks some.
She's not a Nia Jax.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I just think that if you're not going to give them particular names, some type of bantamweight or strawweight or welterweight or whatever championship for guys and girls here, because having it the SmackDown Championship or the WWE Championship just sounds lame too. Yeah, they need to do, this is the Raw champion, this is the SmackDown champion, Raw Tag Team Champions. That will make it fair, but until then, it sounds like one's better than the other.
Like I said, I heard Michael Cole say the Raw Women's Championship a few times, so I think that's where they're going with that. So,
and if they want the two brands to be equal, they need to make it equal. You can't make one championship sound better than another.
And speaking of rumors, once again, as far as the Women's Championship goes, there's talk that match, Sasha and Charlotte, is going to close out the Clash of Champions.
That would be
That's
amazing.
going to be the main event. Which is kind of strange when you have Seth Rollins going against Kevin Owens.
I don't think that's going to take place over that.
I'd be surprised, but if it happens and they put on a heck of a match, I won't hate it.
It's going to be a co-main event. That's what they're going to do.
Probably.
But they'll go first before Owens and
I would think so.
Rollins.
But hey, maybe if they're pushing this women's division, why not? I won't hate if they do.
SmackDown did start off with all women, so we'll see what happens there. So as we run through kind of SmackDown, the stuff that we didn't really touch on, we're going to kind of incorporate Backlash because it's the SmackDown pay-per-view.
It's the SmackDown pay-per-view, yep.
So we'll get going. They start off the night. The women are out there talking about the title, and it's going to be the six-pack match and eliminate each other until they get down to one. And we got Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Natalia, and Nikki Bella. Who are you going to say is going to get the champion? And give me your thoughts on this this whole build-up.
First of all, I love the build-up of this whole six-pack challenge. They're really giving us a lot of great action for this women's division. I'm hoping it's going to be Becky because I'm a fan of Becky Lynch, but for some reason I think they're going to give it to Nikki Bella. One, the fact that she lost the fall just yesterday on SmackDown. And the second fact is she's coming back from a big-time neck injury. It's kind of like the comeback story. So I think Nikki Bella takes the belt this Sunday.
I would like Nikki Bella to be champion. Personally, I am a huge fan of Nikki Bella. I became one over the past couple of years. I like her new finisher. I'm happy that she came back. I think she might have came back a little sooner than what they wanted, but they had to do what they had to do because of people messing up and deciding that, we're going to pop pills just because. Even though allegedly there was a prescription that Eva Marie had. But that's a whole nother story. We already kind of went into that.
That's all speculation and rumors.
I really like how it is. I still think that there's some work to do with Carmella.
I hate the fact they turned her heel. It still bugs me.
Even though she did destroy Nikki Bella the other night, I really feel that she just don't seem like... When I look at, and the same as Alexa Bliss here. When I look at, Becky Lynch or Naomi or Natalya or Nikki, I'm like, oh, yeah, they'll kick your butt. They're strong women. But for some reason, still, when I look at Alexa and Carmella, I'm like, I don't know if you're at that level yet.
I think Alexa's really getting up there.
I love Alexa. She's a great worker. When she actually gets time to really shine, she's going to really
I've seen some of those matches where she's got that look on her face like, you screwed up now, and gets the chokehold going. I'm digging that. I'm totally digging that. Not saying turning me on or anything like that. I'm just saying, okay, she's a legitimate badass right there. Carmella, I think she could still use some work, but she's definitely getting a whole lot better.
She needs to stop that from Staten Island, and you know
that's her gimmick, though.
But here's the thing, though. I will say that Staten Island makes me think of Jersey Shore type people, and so her being a heel kind of makes sense, especially if she's going to be a strong Staten Island type. Think about it. If you think of just judging off you're judging a book by its cover. When you hear somebody from Staten Island, you're like, oh, this jerk, this Paulie D fist pumping guy. You know what I mean? So
it does make sense. But at the same time, I was like, I like the fact that when she was with Big Cass and Enzo, and the fact when she was tagging a lot of times with Bayley in NXT, they had the whole Baymella thing going on.
I did like.
I just liked her. I liked her that way, and just the simple fact that quick they turn her heel. I'm like, this kind of sucks. I'll see where it goes, but right now I'm still just kind of.
And the matches that they had, the little tag team, three tag team match, 3 versus 3. It was Carmella and Natalie and Alexa versus Nikki, Becky, and Naomi. That was a good match. I really enjoyed that. I kind of, once again, wish there was a little bit more women matches, but I guess they gave them 2 segments to start the show and then
and the match,
so that was kind of big. To start the show is definitely big. I'm going to put my money in on Becky Lynch. I still think they're going to give it to somebody new, and Nikki's had it. Same as how they didn't give it to Seth. I think it's going to be the same thing with Nikki, but to Becky.
Like I said, I hope it's Becky Lynch, but I think they're
going I'd like to be wrong on that one. I think they're going for
the whole comeback story with Nikki. So
that's not a bad story, but then it's well, maybe they'll do it with Nikki because they didn't do it with Seth. But Seth did get the championship, even though he lost it right away.
True.
Yeah. I really am into this. I'm into it. I really am a lot. The Usos, they are going to be taking on the Hype Bros.
Yes, because of what happened on SmackDown, American Alpha beats the Usos to go to the finals of the tag team tournament, but then right after the match, Usos turn heel, they obliterate Chad Gable's knee, and so American Alpha is out. So whoever wins this match goes on to the finals of the tag team tournament.
Why did they take out American Alpha?
Just cement them as heels, I guess.
I guess it definitely insulates my belief that Heath Slater and Rhino are going to be champion.
You have to. I mean, you got to put Slater on the show, and this is the only way they can do it. They got to win the whole thing. So,
and I think they're going to have the Usos beat the Hype Bros.
Yes.
Just because people love Zack Ryder, so I think it's a way of another FU in a sense to the crowd and stuff, and then they'll go on to take on.
And you're gonna think they're gonna win. They're gonna end up winning the whole thing, and then you see Slater end up getting the pinfall or whatever. So
you taking Heath too?
I'm definitely taking the Usos in that match, and then
Okay.
take Slater and Rhino to win the belts.
Same lineup.
Has to.
Right, it
Has
has
to
to go
happen.
like that. That what makes the most sense. Unless somehow American Alpha comes out and gets revenge.
That's
and then
that's how I'm saying.
Zack Ryder goes in Zack Ryder verse.
Well, I say that
Or-
the Hype Bros end up losing that match, but then American Alpha, it would be a good idea for them to come in and cost the Usos the title.
Oh, I didn't think of them coming in for a title. Okay, yeah, that would be pretty good right there. I want to see American Alpha get back involved somehow. It would be really nice. And then, Heath Slater and Rhino's match when they beat the Hype Bros in the tag team tournament on SmackDown, that was a great match. And that showed, Heath is really getting over. He may not be fully over yet, but he's just about there. And
It's a great story to get behind, the fact that, he's getting a chance to, get this SmackDown contract, and he's done everything that he can, and they keep on taking away from him, and people are getting behind that, so.
I gotta say, though, that little thing where they had, the SmackDown Live meet the Slaters, that was a little weird.
That was a little strange.
They're going a little out there with this. Reel it in a little bit, guys. But it's funny. It's enjoyable. Heath is getting
That's
over.
the entertainment part of the sports entertainment.
It's nice to see them give him a chance.
Yeah.
I mean even though I wish they gave it
it
to somebody like Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes, I guess, is going to TNA.
From what I've heard, yes, he is, but he's not going to be under contract with them. It's going to be kind of like a
So he could show up for the weekend, do a couple
per
tapings there.
appearance type deal. I guess he's going to do some stuff in ROH too. So
Oh, really?
he's just doing what he wants to do.
See, I like Heath. Don't get me wrong. He's a good guy, strong worker. He's done his time. He deserves this push that he's getting. But I really wish it was somebody like Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes has definitely deserved it, but
They just pushed him away. The Stardust thing was fun, but it's that was too long.
that was getting over though. I mean, it really was getting over, and then they just kind of messed the whole thing up.
Yeah, unfortunate situation with
It
Cody
happens with a
Rhodes.
whole bunch of people.
Randy Orton taking on Bray Wyatt. Now this is on the card. It's listed as the second match of the night. So look how far Randy Orton has fallen from one pay-per-view to another on card placement. But like we said, I mean, that promo that he cut
Card
on
is subject to
SmackDown.
change, of course.
Yeah, true that.
Doesn't necessarily mean if it says it's somewhere on WWE.com, doesn't mean that's where it's going to be on the card. So who knows?
Yeah, but I don't think it deserves. I don't think it's better than the women's match or Dean and Styles or. Yeah, I think it's down there, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not excited for this match. I don't think this match benefits Bray Wyatt at all. Bray Wyatt.
He needs to win the match. I think Bray needs to win the match.
If he loses, that's just dumb. Why are we pushing Orton? He's not good. He's not good at all. It's time to give up on him.
I think he's decent in the ring. I mean,
we could take away his ring work. Just because you're good in the ring doesn't mean you're going to get over with the crowd. He doesn't. How does he connect? Nobody likes his gimmick.
Everyone loves the RKO out of nowhere. That's the gimmick. Once he hits that, the freaking place goes nuts.
Yeah, but it's horrible waiting for him to get there. It's bad.
I've gotten to like him a little more over the years. I've never really been a huge Randy Orton fan. I've never understood I don't even know the word I'm looking for. I just don't understand what people seem to see in him so much. He's got a very unlikable personality, I guess. Because I've seen some stuff with him in real life where it's kind of like, okay, you're a little douchey, dude. But there are times where you see some other interviews where he's very likable. So I don't know where to stand right now. Last few years,
it depends on the
hasn't
day.
been so bad. Yeah,
he's weary. I think he's a weirdo. I think he's got a lot of problems, to be honest with you. I think all the drug use in his past has really messed him up.
I hope not.
I'm not saying he's on drugs now, but I think his drug problems have messed with his personality and how he perceives things and all that stuff. So I'm not a fan of Randy Orton, and it's not I don't care that he did drugs. That don't put that in why I dislike Randy Orton. I just don't like Randy Orton. He don't connect with me. He's a good wrestler, but there's a bunch of good wrestlers.
Yeah.
No Way Jose's a good wrestler.
He
Kind of.
He's not bad.
But you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Aries, amazing wrestler. Another example of somebody that never really got over it because his personality isn't the greatest.
This is true. But he's good on the mic, though. I think Austin Aries is really good on the mic.
He's not bad, but just because you're good on mic doesn't mean you're good. There's something else that you need to get over with the people. You need that it fact, that it thing. You know what I mean?
It's Bobby Roode. There you go, right there. That guy is great on the mic. That freak.
Boy.
Have you seen those glorious bombs
Oh my
that
God, yeah.
Gargano and Ciampa did? Oh my God,
God.
hilarious!
He
Good stuff. That is getting over. I think it's like that theme song was like #1 on iTunes or something like that. I mean, that's how much he's getting over. It's like he took this long to get over to the E. Come on, dude.
It's crazy. Like, what were you thinking? But anyways, who you taking, Randy or Bray?
I'll take Bray.
Yeah,
he's got to go over. I mean, they'll probably give it to Randy, but I mean, it's just I'm going with Bray. They need to cement the whole face of fear thing. If he keeps on losing, it's like, why is he there? I mean, he's got to do something to move up in the card and be SmackDown's big-time heel. I mean, right now, that's probably AJ Styles, but we're going to need someone to be up there, too, because if Ambrose ends up winning, who's going to be his next opponent? I would say it has to be Bray Wyatt or someone like him.
I'd say arguably the biggest heel on SmackDown or in WWE in general right now is The Miz. The Miz is putting in some of the best work of his career right now.
Great work, great promos. I'm digging that.
The Miz, his little, what did he do on SmackDown? I'm trying to remember what he did on SmackDown again. Did he come out to the ring and talk? Where did he do that little promo? Oh, it was the Apollo Crews match. That was good. He just put that. I mean, it was Apollo looked good in the match, but it showed his rough side of how he was gonna just really mess people up, and he's not afraid anymore because the whole thing's like, oh, you're a wuss, you're afraid
you're a
to
wuss,
fight.
you're a coward, all that stuff.
But
at the end, he ended up doing the whole coward thing where the belt was in the ring, Dolph Ziggler standing there. It's like, come on, get your belt, get your belt. Who goes in? Maurice.
Yeah.
So it's still the whole.
And that's what makes him such a good heel, though.
He's great.
It's like those little things that you do is what as it's like
little nuances. Yeah.
It's like with Kevin Owens, he's walking by somebody laying on the ground and just kicks him for no reason or whatever. It's just those little heel things that really make you seem like a bad guy. And The Miz has really. I think this, like I said, this is best work I think of Miz's career, better than his championship run as WWE.
I mean,
champion.
I liked that back then, but I think this is a whole lot better.
This is just special. He's really onto something right now, and
especially the promos. I mean, the intensity that he's had in the promos lately.
And I hope he continues to roll with it.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm really, really hoping.
I wouldn't mind seeing him, being the WWE champion again.
He could be SmackDown champion.
That wouldn't bother me at all.
Who are you taking, Miz or Dolph?
Gotta go Miz. I'm gonna keep on going with that.
You're going with Miz. I'm going with Dolph Ziggler.
Think he's gonna win the belt?
I do. He deserves it.
I think personally, Ziggler deserves being
champion.
But at the point when he went against Ambrose, it was just like it's a little too late. It's like they could have given him that chance maybe a year or so earlier, and they didn't. So.
Do you think he deserves it more than AJ Styles or Dean Ambrose?
No, I think AJ Styles deserves it right now. I mean, even though he's not even a year into his run, he is so over. He's one of the biggest heels right now. Just this whole, face that runs the place. I like where they're going with this. And, I mean, that match that he had with Cena, I think this keeps on going up for AJ. So, I'm thinking AJ's walking out with the belt this Sunday.
That would be. I wouldn't be surprised at that. And honestly, I don't think Dean has been that good of a champion over the past couple of weeks. I know I've said this before, but I just don't like the way he's not taking it serious, and he's just.
But I just feel that's Ambrose though. That's his character. So I mean, I'm kind of not digging his.
I think he needs to turn it up a little bit more, though.
But that's his character. I mean, he's basically a I don't give a crap type attitude. Tell me what to do. I don't care. I don't care what you say. I kind of like it. At the same time, I don't. For a champion, he should probably be a little more more intense. But that's Ambrose. That's
I did like when he said, "Oh, you can go to the side to whatever that girl's name is. AJ's afraid, and he gets nervous around cute women or hot women or whatever the hell he said." Like that was pretty fun.
That's Ambrose.
I mean, I like that, but there's just certain things like he does. I don't know what it is, and I've said it before. I think there's something missing with Ambrose, and when he actually finds it, you think you love Ambrose now. When he finds this thing that I'm talking about, it's going to be crazy with him.
Well, I also like the whole thing. He gives him, oh, that's one of my old bowling trophies. You know, I didn't win anything. It's just a participation trophy. But this is the only trophy you're ever getting from me.
That was funny.
That was good. I like that.
I did too, and I wish he just delivered it with a little bit more intensity.
But that's Ambrose.
Who are you taking?
I'm going to go with AJ Styles. I think he's taking the belt. I think they're going to give it to him. I mean, giving him all these opportunities to not follow through, I think this time around he's got to win the belt. I mean, he lost twice against Roman Reigns, and now he's getting another chance. He's got to win it this time around.
I would think so.
It only makes sense to me.
And lastly, from all my notes and everything, you think they're planting a seed for Daniel Bryan's comeback?
There's talk about it. I mean, there's been rumors, once again, speculation and rumors that, you know, they have not closed the door on Daniel Bryan. So, I don't know, maybe like a one-time deal. Hopefully that he doesn't do any sort of wild stuff in the ring, just have one match, possibly, but right now I'm thinking it's not going to happen, but we'll see.
Daniel versus Miz?
If that's the way they want to go with it.
Because I mean,
they keep on showing that because they showed it again this past SmackDown too. So I would not be surprised if they do go down that road. But as far as we know, he's not healthy enough. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't say anything because I don't know.
You got anything else to add into this edition of Scottplex City?
I don't know anything else that's going on. That's all I've heard. You know, just what we've watched and the whole Page thing and the whole rumor about Kevin Owens not knowing. That's all I know.
All right, well, that's that for this week's edition of Scottplex City. Thank you very much for tuning on in. Subscribe to Pank's Podcast, and then you get notified every Wednesday when the show comes out. You subscribe on iTunes. You could either type in Pank's Podcast or you could type in Scottplex City. Either one or either one, depending on how you say either. I say either, not either. Whatever one you choose, yeah.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Yeah,
exactly. You say potato, I say potato. Let's call the whole thing off.
So yeah, subscribe. Either way, subscribe. Damn it. Also, tell your friends about the show. That'd be cool. Be like, yo.
If you like wrestling, watch the podcast.
You know, let's spread it along. You know, the show's been growing good because of you. You know, you've been talking about it with your friends, and your friends been listening. But, you know, continue to tell your friends, and let's build this community together. And, yeah. So, Scottplex City, thank you very much for tuning on in each and every single week. The video version will be out tomorrow, which will be Thursday. Scotty B, how they get at you? You find me on Twitter. I'm on Scotty B, 1976. That's Twitter. Scotty Bizzle 76 on the Instagram, and Scotty Blaine on Facebook. That's Scotty with an IE, not a Y. Now watch how easy it is for me. Yeah, very easy for you. Scott Radio. That's it. On everything. I wish I had done that back in the day, but, you know, a lot of stuff, all my personal stuff, and I just went, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I should have just... It's too late by the time it's like, pretty much, maybe I should. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So get at us. Scottplex City. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. Peace out.
Scottplex City.
Marks.
Scottplex City.
Marks.
Scottplex City.
Marks.
Scottplex City.
Marks.